know you said yesterday not to read into anything today, but who are you going to start, or do you know yet?
No, not yet.
And you obviously, it was a bit of a different thing, but you had a lot of change right before the start of training camp last year. Obviously, big trade last week. Does that help at all in terms of having to adjust a lot of stuff that you were planning on doing on the eve of training camp, having gone through at least some kind of a similar circumstance a year ago?
I mean, I don't think they're the same. We didn't have to make too much change. I think because of the value of the trade and what we brought in, it was just more of like, this is how it's going to, what we decided to do is going to look better. So it wasn't like significant changes were made. There's some small things that you can tweak just because of Drew's skill set on each side of the ball. But I think for the most part, what we decided to do is kind of, where we're at.
Your reaction to Payton's extension, him, now being with the team for the long term here?
I'll tell you what, Payton's one of my favorite people. Most guys in his position don't, the league breaks them. Like when you go year one playing a little bit, year two not playing, year three kind of playing, and then the league can break people. And, he's not one of those guys. And so he just continues to be just a tough SOB for us. And, I'm happy that I get to coach him this year.
You've talked a little bit about, going from your role as an assistant, having those relationships with those guys to the head chair. How difficult was it for you, and how did you try to help him through last year when, he really wasn't in the rotation for most of the year?
Yeah, I mean, probably something I could have been a lot better at. I think naturally coming into it, just roster management. I think in the position of last year, you're trying to make sure you do certain things. And so I think, that's dealing with guys like that, in and out of the rotation, in and out of the league, in and out of lineups, was something that I really, fell in love with as an assistant. And so just finding ways to get better at that, whether it's when the assistants are running drills, you're on the court, you're rebounding for the guys, just try to be there for them. Last thing is, there's nothing more important than knowing what people are going through. And so what's happening in Israel right now is, there should be a lot of thoughts and prayers out to those people. Being able to spend time there, you don't realize, there's obviously a lot of stuff that goes on in our country. We're not perfect, and there's people that are hurt every day in our country. But when you look at the bigger picture and you spend time there and you see what people go through on a minute to hour basis, you don't realize the struggle that people go through. And so it's funny how things are going to happen this year where I'll get asked about, but no one's asked me about that. And so I think it's important that we build awareness to that.
Did you spend time over there?
I did twice. And
when?
I went this past year. I went in 2016. And it doesn't matter what you are, right? Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're Jewish or Christian, Israeli or Palestinian, they're people, and they go through a lot of dangerous times and situations. And the thing you learn is our country's 400 years old, and they've been going through suffering for 10,000 years, and you start to see the perspective of the world, and it's a really, really tough area to be, and so I think we should all be aware of that.